Alright, this is going to be Mecanum Engine Video 3 for the final sprint. So I'm going to go over the TimeManager, SceneManager, and the Scene class in this video. So let me just show you the TimeManager real quick since I didn't go over that in my demo. Let's jump over to this scene. Use the God Cam to zoom out a little bit so you can see what's going on. Alright, so if I hit F10, it will pause time. Hit F10 again, resume time. So I'll hit it and hit F9 to actually step through, and then 10 will just resume time there. Cool. Okay, so the time manager is set up as a singleton. So we've got get time in seconds and get frame time. We also have a time manager attorney that is controlling the delete and process time, and only the Mecanum engine has access to these two things. So what's going to happen is the time manager attorney is deleted in unload content, and then in the engine's update, we're going to process time. Okay, that's about it for the time manager. So let's get rid of him. And now onto the scene manager and scene class. So this is pretty much the most unruly part of the engine, but it does work. It just looks kind of ugly. So it's gonna be kind of a pain to dig through here. So the scene manager here is set up as a singleton, and as you saw in Mecanum engine, this is going to be deleted when the actual engine is shut down in the unload content. So this is one of those special singletons like the asset managers. Okay, so we've got set start scene, next scene, get current scene, all that jazz. Alright, and we have a null scene change command, a scene change command, a null scene change command, and a scene change command. So this is actually going through and executing a null command every single update, and it's only actually executing the scene change command when I change the scene. So if I call set next scene, it'll set off this command, set the current command to scene change. It'll go through this. It'll delete the current scene and the scene. Current command equals to that. And then it will initialize the next scene. So just to make sure that all that's working, I can go through and test it. So I get into my game here, press 1, step through all this, and all this wonderful magic happens. Okay. And I can actually do that extraordinarily fast, go through all of those. This is what I'll probably write in as the part that I'm most proud of, because I can actually do this a bunch of times without crashing, so there we go. Okay, so in terms of the actual scene, so you can see all these includes. It's very unruly, but we have the registration broker, alarm manager, update manager, keyboard manager, collidable manager, and camera manager, and all of those are being managed through the scene, for lack of a better term, if I haven't used managed enough. So you can see, I can go into this deeply with the examples here, but in scene, whoops, sorry about that, time to wake up. Okay. Alright, where was I? So there's a reference being passed in for deregistration for update and draw, and all of the other actually no, not all of them, sorry. Alarm manager, keyboard manager, and yeah, those two, just pretty much, sorry. Update manager and drawable manager are actually using quick delete, but not alarm manager and keyboard manager, because there were some problems with that. But let's see. Yeah, and drawable is using the register 3D and register 2D. And that's a whole different thing. Okay. Let me just show you the scene header here. So the scene attorney is probably bigger than I want it to be. So let's see the .h and the attorney side by side here. So the public methods that I do have to do with the camera and collisions. And then the scene attorney methods here are all accessed through here. So I have it like granularly controlled based on the exable. Yeah, and I am actually calling SceneManager get current scene in the attorney, and I have two different functions that actually take in a pointer to the scene and one that just calls the current scene. I feel like this is cleaner because when I'm actually calling this in Drawable or any of my other exables, I don't actually have to call the SceneManager and pass in the current scene. I can do it either way, but I just feel like this is a better method. I can't really say why that would be worse, but I do have both of them just in case I need to swap that out next quarter real quick. Yeah, and registration is being controlled based on the exables, so we're just inheriting from command base and submitting there. Alright, cool. So the draw... Yeah. Let's see. How do I show you that this correctly deals with 2D, 3D, and visualizer? Yeah, so the visualizer is being called last... Oh gosh, where is that? Okay, scene.cpp. Alright, here we go. Sorry, the visualizer is being called before the draw manager, which allows the orthographic camera and all the sprites to be drawn on top of that. But yeah, I'm using the command pattern for the draw manager, which we can get into when we actually go through the exables. But let's see if I can actually show you that this is working properly. Demonstrate. Yeah, so if you watch the hearts there, I was pointing at it on my screen, but I know you can't see that. I was getting an issue where like the rectangle would be drawn on top of the visualizer, but as you can see, that's not happening right now with this sprite. So that means the command pattern is working correctly, and I can again go into detail with that later. Okay. So that's required collision tests. Yep. So that's going to be in scene.h, set collision test pair, and then I have a terminate collision group to actually clean up the collision group from the collidable manager, so I'm not leaking memory there. So that's 3 different commands here. Okay, cool. I think that does it for this scene. So the next video is going to be updating